Captain Brian Driscoll and Irish coach Declan Kidney, who just announced the Ireland team to play France and also the Ireland A team to play England Saxons this Friday.
Okay, good afternoon. Team to play France, 1 Marcus Horn, 2 Jerry Flannery, 3 John Hayes, 4 Donegal Callaghan, 5 Paul O'Connell, 6 Stephen Ferris, 7 David Wallace, 8 Jamie Heaslip, 9 Tomas O'Leary, 10 Ronan O'Gara, 11 Luke Fitzgerald, 12 Paddy Wallace, 13 and Captain Brian O'Driscoll, 14 Tommy Boho, 15 Rob Carney. Replacements, 16 Rory Best, 17 Tom Court, 18 Malcolm O'Kelly, 19 Dennis Leamy, 20 Peter Stringer, 21 Gordon Darcy, and 22 Jordan Murphy. Just before I call out the A side to take on England on Friday night, I just clear up 1 or 2 things. Like Keith Earls wasn't considered because the bang he got there recently hadn't cleared up enough for him to be in the reckoning for either team. And as 1 or 2 of you may have seen, as a precaution, like Rob went over on an ankle this morning, and he's just, as a precaution, you just take the weight off it, so if he's on crutches, that's just the sort of thing that happens at training. So, but like I've no news in that. I'd imagine he'd be alright. It's just these things happen, especially Tuesdays. We're inclined to do contact, so somebody usually gets a bit of a bang. I think what happened in the Heineken Cup will actually solidify them a little bit. You know, that they'll be able to prove a point, and you know, the French are. You know, if you just look at their record, or you know, our own record against them, I was just, somebody gave me some stats there. Like, I think it's 3 times in the professional era we managed to get the better of them. 2 of those by 1 point one time or something, and 2 points another time. So, what they'll bring to it is the best of 14 teams. That's just the reality of it, and I think what's happened to them in the Heineken Cup will have hurt them, right? Okay, I think that they've. Like a lot of sides in rugby, when there's a little bit of criticism coming their way, it's inclined to gel them and unify them. And I think we could be, you know, we could be seeing that at the start. And I think that they've got things sorted out from November. We watched their November tests, and you know, each one they went through, they were getting better and better as the games went on. That's not like he's training with us all the time, and he could come straight into the senior squad without any difficulty. But the A squad, we tried getting a mix of not too many younger fellas, right? Okay, but trying to bring a few fellas through. So there's a few guys like that, like as you can see, Gervin and you know, Shane Horgan and Alan, like you said, they weren't included in the A game, but you know, they've been there, and if we felt we needed to give them a game, there's another A game then the following week. So we want to try. We're trying to develop a squad, as we said, and we feel the A team is an integral part of that. So when we started training last week, we named 45. There was 39, sorry, and there was 22 of those then, and an extra 9, so that made 48 if I have my numbers right. And 22 of those then were released into the Saxons, and then out the other 26 we had on 4. So we've had a few lads training with us this week, like Jeremy Toner and Ian Keithley, and in with the senior squad, just to give them experience. And we're just trying to build up a squad in that way, as well as looking to concentrate on the match on Saturday. You know, like I think the combinations that Jerry has been working with. But then you're trying to balance that then with the way Rory has been playing. We're very lucky in that position where we have 3 good hookers. Bernard made it slightly easier in that he wasn't available, but the other 2 lads have been going really well. And you know, I think that it'll be a good fix for this week, going into this week's match. But let's see what happens then the following week. I just think it's a situation where we're lucky that we have the 2 of them. You know, Dennis has come back in, and because he's got a few regular games under his belt now, he's been going very well then too. But you know, that's the good thing now about having him on the bench as well then too. So you know, you can see a little bit of an extra spark there in training since he's come back, and everybody wants a little bit of competition for their place, because all the good players then respond to that, and you see it in Jamie's steps. Like he probably smelled that coming up to Edinburgh, but he did have a very good game against Edinburgh. Dennis had a very good game, you know, against Montauban, and we went well against Sale the previous week. So yeah, it is very tight, but it's just combinations. Like, you know, it's more than 15-man game now, and they've been working together for a while. So I just left them alone. You know, it's very hard to try and justify some reasons that you just have a feel for. Well, everybody says tight head is a cornerstone, you know, and I think no more so than John. Like, to amass 90 caps is a phenomenal record and a testament to his professionalism and the way he's gone about it. But I suppose if I was to really say what I think that John would probably be here for another 20 minutes, you know, and he probably wouldn't thank me for it. So, you know, another milestone, and please God, he'll have another few more then after that as well then too. But I'm delighted for him and his family, and I'm hoping it'll go well for him, and knowing John, all he'll want to do is get a result in this one. That'll be the best way he'll remember it. Well, he would have been in the milk like in November. I think it started him against Canada, and did he sub the other two? So like he wasn't too far off it then. Like he's been going well since, but you know, he did pick up a bad dead leg, and so once it was never an option, you just, I suppose, to be honest, when you're selected, you don't ever even think like that. I suppose I've rarely before named guys that you know, that I don't consider due to injury, because I think it can put a leaning on the guys who you do pick, and it can undermine them a little bit. So, but at the same time, I understand that you need to recognise the information that needs to be put out. So, I think had he been up and going the way he was playing, he would have had to have been in the mix for it, right? Okay, but you know, we're lucky that it comes back to, we must develop a panel, because if we build a team around one or two guys, it's unfair on them, and then when the opposition come, they say, well, you know, once we keep that one or two players quiet, then we can stifle the team, and we don't want to do that. So he's out this time, but I'm sure he'll be back then soon. And well, would he be available for the following week? There's an outside possibility of him being available for the following week. Yeah, Ian's after picking up a bad, you know, he's after doing a right good job on his hamstring. So it's going to be a minimum of 8 weeks, I'm afraid.
Is he not back to the
well, like, he'll be treated at home, yeah, because there's, you know, the travelling and the hotel life. There's good, you know, there's excellent medics in all the provinces, and he'll get regular care. Then it's the consistency of that care then that'll bring him through, rather than, you know, changing physios or changing medics halfway between. And that's sometimes why you keep a fella in house as well, then too, just for the consistency is the word, just a regular care there.
So he's effectively out.
Yeah, unfortunately, the word we've been given is that we won't be able to include him in our plans for any time during the Six Nations, unfortunately.